All right. Today is
Just explain it. You don't have to.
the 13th. Do you guys know, do you know what day we go and leave daylight savings time? It's November 2nd. So November 2nd is a Sunday. So I believe on the evening of well, not the evening, the night of the first, when you go to bed, then you want to set your clocks back. And then on the morning of the second, when you wake up, it'll be the standard time, I think.
So we go forward or backward? We go forward.
Fall back, spring forward, fall back, spring forward. It's like when you look outside right now and it's dark at say like 6:45, a couple of weeks from now, it'll be dark at 5:45. That's why our days get so shorter, so much shorter in the evenings.
Uh,
Fall back. Always remember that expression, fall back. And then you'll know which is which. 2 a.m. Right.
and it's like you never were playing video games.
We're gonna call this synthetic, and I hate to keep calling it division. I mean, that's technically what it is. I'm just gonna put division, but technically what we're doing is synthetic substitution, just for the record, but we like to call it synthetic division. So synthetic division with what's your favorite F word? Nope. Another F word?
Backer.
Coulter, don't you start.
Backer.
Okay. I'm surprised you guys didn't come up with this one. I thought this was your absolute. Oh, you did? I'm sorry.
And if an F word can't be said out loud.
Fire truck?
Yeah.
Fulfillment?
My favorite F word is Larry.
Farfignugan. Farfignugan was like a word that I believe Volkswagen used in their ad campaign back in the 90s. It was,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I have three examples. It goes from simple fraction to ugly fraction to moderately ugly negative fraction. So three examples, and then the rest of the time today you'll just have to work. So yeah, so there was no avoiding this. This kind of has to come out because realistically, when we do the rational root theorem next week, we cannot avoid the fact that some of our rational roots that we're going to test are going to be fractions. So we have to acquire this skill. Those of you, as always, with better basic skills will struggle significantly less with this. So step one is the same. We're going to copy out the numbers from the polynomial. So we have 6, 17, negative 26, and positive 8. And then we're going to do our upside down division. And then we're going to pop the 1/2 right over here. So, I mean, procedurally, nothing is changing. It's just the numbers. Your fluency with basic math will help, or if you don't have the fluency, it will hurt. All right, so we're going to drop the 6 and we begin. And what is 1/2 times 6? 3. You will find yourself being better at this if you replace the word times with of. So remember, times is the same as of. So if someone says, what's 1/2 times 6? A lot of people go, I don't know. But if you say, what's half of 6? Everyone goes, oh, that's just 3. So times and of are interchangeable sort of in mathematics. And then you add again, 17 plus 3 is,
One.
I'm going to go with 20 there, hands team. Okay. And then what's half of 20? And what's negative 26 plus 10? Negative 16. And what's half of negative 16? Negative 8. And there is our expected 0. From here, I will continue with the lesson, but just understand that that is the only new addition to today's work, is that fraction in the first step. So from here, it's just business as usual. So, we could try to factor this if you'd like. I would break it down personally into 3x squared plus 10x minus 8. We learned that last week, that remember, you can divide the numbers down provided that they can all be divided down. Shall we factor? Let's give it a shot. I've got no issues saving a little bit of time. Does anyone see the combo in that order? Yeah. So, and notice I didn't put any signs yet. The more you factor, the more you understand that, there's one of each, of course, but where they go, you can sort of play that by kind of base it off of where the cards fall, sort of, so to speak. So, if you look at this outside, you get 12x. And if you look at this inside, you get 2x. And one of them has to be a negative to make the -8 at the back. So we clearly want the stronger to be the positive and the weaker to be the negative, right? So yay, we were able to factor that one, and we didn't have to start our Monday with the quadratic formula. So that's nice. What is the answer that we get from this red one? X equals what? Here. Thank you, Morgan. Very good. I wish that everyone would have said that. So let me show you something. If I scribble out the 3, then of course, what would the answer be? 2, right? So the answer is x equals 2, but we have to divide it by 3 because of the 3 in front of the x. Right? And then, of course, what's the second one going to be? Yeah, that one's easy peasy. -4. And then what was our freebie from the beginning? 1/2. So the repetitive theme in today's assignment is that I'll be giving you a freebie. I will continue to give you freebies until next week when that gets taken away. But for now, the freebie that I'm going to give you is going to be a fraction. Okay, so there's your 3 answers. Let's try again. This function, f of x, shall be 5x cubed plus 8x squared minus 24x plus 8 again. Wow, didn't mean to do that. And our freebie is a somewhat uncomfortable fraction of 2/5. So same startup. Take your numbers 5, 8, -24, +8, and take that 2/5 over here. A lot of basic skills here. So you're going to really have to be open with me over the next couple of days and talk to me about what I can do to assist you. It won't be all of you, but there will be some of you that will struggle with the basics. When I say basics, it doesn't mean like you're dumb if you don't get it. It just means they're like fundamental skills required, right? Everything's harder in math. So just let me be a part of helping you if you need help. First step doesn't need any help. I'm going to drop the 5. And we begin. What is 2/5 of 5? It is. And if you struggle with that, I have a couple of ways I can teach you how to think. If you want to not show work, which I would obviously prefer, 2/5 of 5 is just what's 1/5 of 5? 1. And then since I want 2 of them, I double that to get 2. For those of you who really will struggle with this, I would encourage you to go off to the side, which this is going to get really annoying for you really quick. But you could do 2/5 times 5 over 1. And hopefully, like after a few iterations of this process, you'll get so tired of showing all that work that you'll just start to see what the pattern looks like. But you can see how the 5s cancel and you're left with what we said, 2. Okay, what's 8 plus 2? And we go again. What is 2/5 of 10? It is 4. And the reason again is because what's 1/5 of 10? 2. I'm sorry, but every one of you should know the answer to 1/5 of 10. Like if you had $10 and we're going to give a fifth of it to your friends, they all get $2, right? So if 1/5 of 10 is 2, then 2 of those make 4. What's -24 plus 4? -20, and here we go again. And I want you to kind of watch the pen here for a second. If you watch the television, before I worry about anything, I'm going to put a negative sign right there. And that way there, our conversation doesn't have to be about negatives. I can just ask you simple questions. What is 2/5 of 20? It is 8 because 1/5 of 20 is 4. So two of them must make 8. And I've already got the negative on there, so I can just put my -8 and then the expected 0. Right. So what three numbers am I going to use for my quadratic?
Uh, one,
Mhm.
so
So you want 1x² plus, nope,
two.
2x minus, correct. And for anyone sitting there going, what just happened? What kind of bomb just got dropped on my brain? We just divided all three of those numbers by 5 because we could. It'd be crazy not to. Can you factor that? Sure. And give it a shot. I mean, the answer is no, but you seem to want to go through with this, so let's do it. Um, you need a plus and a minus. Let's go.
Yep.
I mean, the only logical choice would be like a +4 and a -1 because the twos would cancel. That doesn't work. And then the 4 and the 1 leave us close, but not quite there, right? We get 4x minus 1x, which makes 3x, and we're like, ay, it's a miss. So we're going to bust out the old QF here and do our thing. So A is going to be 1. What's B? C. And we begin. X equals quadratic formula time. What do we start with? Sorry, what?
-2.
Plus or minus the square root of
Four.
4 minus 4, bless you, blank, blank, all divided by 2 times 1 is 2. And in the blanks are going to go 1 and -4. So what is going on inside that root sign? What's this? It's plus, right? So it's going to be 4 plus, and what's the answer to 4 times 1 times 4?
16.
And 4 plus 16 is 20. So we're going to wind up now looking at our answer, a much cleaner version of himself. And we are ready for some work. So we're going to take 20 off to the side, do a little repair work. What's he break into? So root 4 and root 5, which makes, try that again. Try that again. 2 root 5. And there it is. It's time for El Dorito. And I like this Dorito because there's a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be here when I'm done. Um, those are all going to divide by 2. What's this first one going to become? -1. Second one, third one. Yeah. There's only one of those guys that has to stay. And it's the very first one up in the upper left corner because he is a placeholder. So even if he became a positive one, I would still need him there. So what is my overall now final answer?
Plus.
She's -1 plus or minus √5. You cannot eliminate the number that I'm circling in yellow. Even if he becomes a 1, he holds a structural place. The other ones are multiplicative and I don't know what the word is. Divisive doesn't sound right. Um, but multipliers and divider ones, they're pointless. But a hold a place guy is important. And I'd say from what I think is once people get really good at this, one of the most common errors is they go like, bam, done, right? What did I forget? Freebie. Yeah, I also at the very beginning told you that X had to equal 2/5. So when you make your statement of finality, The end of a math problem often has that, right? Make sure you include the two that you just found plus the one that you got as a gift before. And you won't find any discomfort in this last example. If those didn't cause you discomfort, this one won't. It's just got a negative, and I wanted to make sure that you were all comfy with a negative fraction. So last one, let's name our function g of x this time. Why not? 8x cubed plus 30x squared plus 46x plus 21. Does anyone want to try to guess the freebie?
Negative 2/3.
You made me write it, you little Jedi. You mind powered me. These are not the droids you're looking for. You got me. Um, yeah. All right, let's do this. Let's light this fire. So we're going to take our numbers 8, 30, 46, 21, and let the games begin. I'm telling you, you should always look at your sign first and get it out of your mind. So right away, what is that negative red number times that positive white number? So you would be wise to just put a negative sign before you forget. That's something I, as a teacher, need to do a better job of reminding young people of. Is just deal with your signs early. Right? Now you have to worry about it. So now I can ask you this question without any negatives. What is 3/4 of 8? It is 6, because a fourth of 8 is 2. So 3 of them make 6. And I've already got my negative there. We're good. 30 minus 6. And again, I see a negative red number and a positive white number. I'm going to put the negative so I don't ding dong forget it. Yes. 3/4 of 24 is 18, because 1/4 of 24 is 6. So 3 6s make 18. What's 46 minus 18? 28. And yet again, I'm faced with a negative red number times a positive white number. I'm going to put the negative before I forget. 21 is correct. Because 1/4 of 28 is 7, and 3 7s make 21. And surprise, surprise, there is the C. In case you're sitting here going, oh boy, I'm going to have to drop this class. I don't know what's happening. When I say 1/4 of, I'm going to put this in quotes. And some of you don't know what that means. It just means 24 divided by 4. In case no one ever taught you that before. So like a third of 21 can be scary to some people, but 21 divided by 3 should not be scary to anybody past like the 5th grade. So that's when we say those things. When I say a third of 18, I'm asking really 18 divided by 3. That's how it works. All right, so what 3 numbers are we going to use for our quadratic? You like it. 2x squared plus 6x.
Plus 7.
Good. And again, talk about seizing the opportunity. Wow, taking those numbers and dividing them all by 4 was a boss move. Do you want to try to factor it?
No.
We can. Would it change your mind if I told you it's not going to work?
Yep.
Okay, then let's not. Think about it, and if the more you think about factoring, you understand this one literally has to be impossible because you need a 7 and a 1, and the 7 with 2 plus signs is already going to push you up over past the 6, so it would be a waste of time. So we're going to do the quadratic formula with A equaling 2, B equaling 6, and C equaling 7, and we're off. What's X equal? -6 plus or minus
36.
the square root of 36 minus 4 blank blank all over 4. And what's going in my blanks? 2. and 7. So what can you tell me about what's going on inside the old square rooty tooty? It's going to be imaginary because that's going to be a negative, right? 4 times 2 is 8 times 7 is 56. 56 is bigger than 36. Small minus big always equals negative. Um, so this is really saying 36 minus 56, which again is what? Negative 20. So we wind up with x equals negative 6 plus or minus the square root of negative 20. And we should be familiar with 20 because we just did it like 5 minutes ago, right? If it were just a 20, we already know he's 2 root 5. So since it's negative 20, then it's 2i root 5. Not much difference. So we're going to take that and we're going to pop it back in. And comes the Dorito. What can you divide all the numbers? Let's do a yellow. What would that be? What flavor of Dorito would be yellow?
Mustard.
What'd you say?
Mustard.
Mustard Doritos? Is that a thing? Wow. So if you divide all the numbers inside the mustard Dorito by 2, you get negative 3, 1, and 2. So final answer will be x equals what?
Plus I.
Comma.
Negative.
And I'll put a box around that because boxes are so nice with final answers. Do you have any questions? I'm going to hand out assignment 13. And then tomorrow, I'll assume by tomorrow that you're done with 11, 12, 13, 10, all of that stuff is done. And then tomorrow you'll get your practice quiz on synthetic division and finding zeros. All right. I'll throw it on the recording. So let's do it. So we have the numbers are 5, negative 17, 46, negative 16. And the number that we're going to use is 2/5. So maybe some of you got stuck on problem 1, and this, depending on where you got stuck, maybe walking through this will help you to free up whatever issues you're having. So step 1 is we're going to drop the 5. And then we're going to begin the process. 2/5 of 5 is 2. We're going to add and get negative 15. 2/5 of negative 15 I know is negative, and it happens to be 6. And then 46 plus negative or minus, however you say that, is 40. 1/5 of 40 is 8. So 2 8s make 16, and there is the expected 0. So the numbers we're going to be working with are 1, negative 3, and 8. And I just would think you don't need a math degree to recognize that that's not factorable, right? Yeah, it's just not even possible. So we're going to dive right into the quadratic formula where A is 1, B is negative 3, and C is 8. And I know I haven't gotten to your actual question yet, but we're going to say x equals 3. That's the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of positive 9 minus 4 blank blank, all divided by double A. Holy crooked line, Batman. Let's try that again. Oh my gosh.
That was worse.
Shut your cake hole.
Oh. Oh, this, get the perfect line.
You like that one better there, Smarty Pants?
Yep.
Good. And then I'm going to put in some numbers. I'm going to put in A and C, and there's no trickeration going on here. So this is, in fact, going to be exactly, ladies, what you thought it was back there. And it is 9 minus 32, which is, in fact, exactly what you said, negative 23. So we have 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 23, all divided by 2. We can all agree that 23 is a dead root. Negative 23 is kind of a dead root, but let's remember, what do we do with a root that has a negative number inside of it? We need an I, not a negative sign, an I. Oh, okay. So we wind up with x equals 3 plus or minus I root 23, all divided by 2, comma, 2/5. So I hope you found that to be 3 or 4 beneficial minutes. Maybe you didn't need it at all, but that's what problem 1 looks like. So there are a couple in here, I think, where all 3 answers are rational, meaning that you'll find factorability if you look for it a couple times. I don't remember which ones they are, and I wouldn't even tell you if I did. So, but there are a couple that you can factor. Any other questions while I'm recording? Right.